Welcome everybody to another episode of B&B Hockey Talk, Vancouver Canucks edition. I'm Aaron Bloxel with my co-host, Mr. Matthew Balzer. Matt, Canucks, only a few games since we last talked. Absolutely getting thumped by Las Vegas last Saturday night, and coming back and beating the New York Rangers on Wednesday night. And of course, they play those New Jersey Devils tonight. But couple of injuries in the Ranger game. Not very many people showed up against Las Vegas, unfortunately. But what is your update on the boys?
Yeah. So the big injury, Antoine Roussel. Man, that's tough to see. That I think he fell and then his knee twisted awkwardly, and he's now done for the season. But what a year he had! He set a career high in points with 31 points in 65 games. And I think I brought up in that post after the game that goal against Detroit. It's just sort of summed up what exactly he brings to the Canucks. I still remember earlier in that game, I think he had like a partial breakaway. He totally whiffed on the puck, and then I think two Red Wing guys came and just was laughing at him in his face, and then to get the tip on that goal and score, and then you could just see the emotion, and he's just yelling at the Detroit Red Wings bench as he goes by to celebrate at the bench. It's just sort of what he brings, and the underrated playmaking, like the backhand sauce this year. That's pure Roussel.
That seemed to happen almost daily, every game.
Yeah, especially after the All-Star break. It was just like, is this another game, another great backhand sauce pass to set up a goal? But yeah, it's like a win and a lose sort of thing, because it shows like Roussel's been one of the best free agent signings that Benning's done in his career here with the Canucks. But the thing is that Roussel is one of the best free agent signings Benning's been able to bring into Vancouver. But yeah, like going from like only having like 13, 14 points last year in Dallas to where he is this year, because like that was my big thing. Is like I knew that he was going to be a pest or whatever, but like where was like what was the amount of points was man, I'm really tripping over. Yeah, what was the point production that he was going to bring? And he blew me out of the water for my expectations for this year. And then we got a couple guys on the injured front. We have Quinn Hughes and Ben Hutton. Both have bone bruises. Hughes is at least out a week, and Hutton, there's no timetable. And Berchi still in concussion protocol, but we did get Bertanen and Tanev back from injury, which is good news there.
Excellent. The Canucks, of course, with a couple of big signings finally. Of course, the big one being Josh Tevez. No, of course, the big one is first-round draft pick, Mr. Quinn Hughes, who everybody's just waiting to see his debut. How many once he's healthy, because obviously he's got his foot injury from his playoff round there last weekend in university. Once he's healthy, he's going to get in probably the rest of the season. We're assuming he's going to play at least 8, 9, 10 games, however many he can play. What kind of impact do you see him having this year? And how many games do you think Tevez is going to get in? Like, are we going to see him almost every game, or do you think he'll only play a handful of games, or maybe one game?
Yeah. With Hughes, immediate impact. At least on the offensive side, his speed and vision will really help the Canucks power play and just their offensive game. Just for me, I'd love to see him paired with Troy Stecher. Like, I know they're two smaller guys, but like I think Stecher's really shown that he can handle himself against all the big players like Austin Matthews. Like, we know that game in Toronto, he just absolutely leveled him. And just the way he's able to position himself, he's not out of place, and both of the guys can skate. So I'd love to see both of those guys paired. But yeah, offensively, especially with the power play, like we know we've seen like that drop pass. Teams have just been like, okay, we'll just skate right behind you, and because the Canucks will still pass it back to you even if you're there or not. With Hughes, you'll get that up-tempo game. You'll rush the puck up the ice. Sure, like you'll get some mistakes here and there, but with a guy like like Hughes, I'll take the mistakes here and there because I know he's going to be putting up a huge amount of points. And with Tevez, I think he might only get in a couple of games. It's tough with like the college guys because like you got all these guys in the minors that have been playing all year down in Utica and stuff, and then you get like that college free agent guy that comes in and they're just handed games without earning them. But I think he'll get into one or two games. He is an older player, 24 years old. He was at the Canucks development camp during the summer. He had 3 goals, 20 points in 30 games with Princeton. He did have 33 points last season with Princeton. He actually was having to write a midterm later today, which I think for mechanical engineering. So he's still getting his school stuff done, but I think only like 1 or 2 games, especially with a lot of the Canucks defensemen getting healthy, and with Hughes coming, it's going to be tough to get him into a game. But I think like he could get in the game over Brisebois. Like his game against the Rangers, I didn't really like. He only played like 8-something minutes. But he had like a couple of turnovers and stuff. But like Ashton Sautner, I really liked his game. He's just stay at home. He gets his job done and doesn't make any mistakes, which I really like.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement there. I really like Schottner over Pouliot and and of course Brisebois right now. I mean, we're always beating up on Pouliot, but I think guys like Pouliot, guys like Schaller, guys like Louis Eriksson are potentially going to be out of this lineup fairly soon as the Canucks are starting to load up with youth and talent. One of the good things about the injuries and some of the mix and match lineups is a line that formed against the Rangers that they're going to go with again tonight that I really like. And as does Coach Travis Green, Tanner Pearson, Jake Virtanen, and, of course, Adam Gaudette. That line has some tremendous upside to it, not only offensively, but defensively responsible. Plus, they have a ton of speed on that line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big thing. Like Adam Gaudette was buzzing last game. I think just about every time he got the puck, he was making some scoring chance or getting a shot on goal. And with Virtanen, man, the Canucks miss his speed when he's out of the lineup. Like when he gets going, he's just able to create room for his teammates and set them up. And Pearson, you're getting that bigger bodied player who can get to the net. And I really like that line. So like Gaudette, like I think he should have earned at least a point last game for what he did. But yeah, it's really nice seeing the consistency coming in every game from those 3 guys.
Well, and both Pearson and Virtanen are bigger bodies with a lot of speed. It'd be nice if Pearson keeps hitting the way he does. If some of that rubs off on Jake and those 2, it becomes a bit of a crash line with some serious speed. I think that's an ideal, perfect third line, and it could provide some potential, a lot of offense, too, to this team in the future. So that's something I think we should watch for. They have 10 defensemen now. They're all healthy because Chris Tanem's finally back. Nice to see him back in the lineup, especially on that 5-on-3 penalty kill with Edler.
Yeah.
Great job they did. But, with this many defensemen, it's going to be a battle to see who plays. I don't know if we see Luke Schenn again, unfortunately, this year, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with this team. Jacob Markstrom's getting the start again tonight. He looked good against the Rangers. Not so good against Vegas, but I don't blame him for Vegas. The whole team forgot to show up that game. But Markstrom, since December 1st, his numbers are just unreal. He's proven to me, I think it's a big enough sample size for me to say he's a legitimate number 1 goalie now.
Yeah, for sure. And he even passed Brandon Sutter for assists on the season, picking up his 3rd assist of the season.
He has more hits than Louis Eriksson, too, just so you know.
But yeah, he's had a great season. He's setting a new career high in wins this year. Yeah, his previous year was from last year with 23. He's up to 25 this year. His save percentage is up to .913, and that goals against average 2.75. But yeah, just every night, it's just he's tracking the puck so well. If there's a high scoring chance, he's making that save. Like Roussel in that first period against the Rangers, I still don't know what he was doing. He's behind his own net, and he just passed it right out to Kreider, and he had to come up with a big save. He actually had a nice laugh with the referee after that one. but yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's just like he's consistently on his game. He's not giving up that bad goal. Like the Vegas game, like I didn't watch that game just because I think I was a few minutes behind, and then I just kept getting the goal notifications that Vegas just kept scoring. I was just like, oh yeah, it's just like the Canucks might have talked about before the game about like, oh yeah, we got ran out of the building in Vegas, and we're going to come in strong. This will be like our bounce back game, and then it just shows how far the Canucks still have to go to get to being an elite team in the NHL. Like I saw some quotes about Benning and from Green, like saying like if they had like 5 more wins this season, they'd be like in that playoff race still and stuff. It's just like, well, you shouldn't be talking about getting 5 more wins. You should be talking about getting way more wins and actually being in a playoff spot and being able to compete with teams like Vegas and San Jose and Calgary. Like that's where your expectations should be, because if you're getting 5 more wins and you just squeak into the playoff spot, that final playoff spot, well, you're going to get killed by, I believe that would be San Jose this year right now, or Calgary. It's just not worth it. And then you take yourself out of the lottery, out of the draft lottery as well. So, yeah, it's just a long way to go. But yeah, I got off on a tangent there. But Markstrom, just a great season. And I'll be interested to see if the Canucks will look to extend him this offseason, because I believe he'll be down to 1 year left on his contract. But the big thing is I still want to get Demko into some more games before the end of the year. It's really tough to see how they're going to handle that with all the home games without any travel, how they're going to use Demko down the stretch. But I'm hoping they get him into at least another 5 games before the end of the year.
Chris Kreider throws an arm/elbow into Pettersson's face, gets a 5-minute major, and kicked out of the game the other night. But do you think the Canucks had enough response there, or do you think with Kreider being kicked out of the game, in my opinion, was Kreider was kicked out of the game, so there wasn't really a chance to respond to the perpetrator rather than respond to the team. But do you think the Canucks had enough response to that, or is there something they still need? Like, do they really miss Derek Dorsett?
Yeah, I actually thought it was all right, because like I think watching it live or whatever, I actually didn't even really pick it up until after seeing it on the replay. But I forget who was all on the ice, but there was a couple guys that were beaking at Kreider, and that's the stuff that like you at least want to see. Like at least like, hey, like this guy did something, like at least trash talk him or something, like make it known or whatever. Like it's better than just like, okay, like nobody did anything, everybody just sort of skated away. Like at least like a bare minimum reaction. So I was sort of all right with that. And then you got the 5-minute power play as well right after, which helped. And then I believe Besser got the goal on that power play as well. So you make them pay in 2 different areas. But yeah, I thought it was all right. It was better than nothing. So. But yeah, it was sort of tough just because like I didn't see it live until after on the replay. But yeah, I'm just pissed that Kreider only got fined $5,000 for that elbow. Like that's really dangerous to have your elbow spin up and around and nail him in the head.
And I think Kreider just meant to get a piece of Pettersson, cheap shot him and stuff like that. I don't think it was fully intentional, but. Yeah, it's definitely dangerous and reckless, and at least Max finding him to the max is good. But yeah, it's gonna happen. I mean, you saw Max Domi with his retribution on Mike Matheson, right? And telling him we know what kind of player you are in this league. So what goes around comes around. I believe that, and if Kreider intentionally meant to do that to Petey, then it will come back to him, I'm sure. Let's talk about some of the kids, some of the future here for the Canucks. Start off maybe with the juniors and then update us with other players. So start off with Jet Wu.
Yeah, so Jet Wu is just, man, this guy just continues to tear up the WHL. He's up to 12 goals, 62 points in 60 games. Just an absolute beast. I can't wait to see this guy in a Canuck uniform. Especially, I think he's like 6'3", 6'4", with that size. I'm hoping I'm hoping he can transition more quickly than we would expect. But yeah, with the production he's putting up, that's just amazing, especially from last year in his draft year where he started off the year with really good production, but in the second, and then he got injured and he came back and he was more of a defensive defenseman in the second half. So to see him go back to where he started in the first half of last season, his draft year, it is really great to see.
So when Jet Wu, if and when he plays for the Canucks, and he goes and scores a goal, do they do the Ric Flair music? Woo for him, like.
we already have the woo after when they announced the Canucks goal, so I guess it'll just be like 100 times more going on.
I think the fans will catch on to that one pretty quick. So
yeah, well, heck, even in I think it was like the summer development camp, they were already doing it during the prospect game. But yeah, I can't wait to see this guy in a Canuck uniform, and then also. With Will Lockwood, also his season came to an end with Michigan getting eliminated. He finished the season with 16 goals and 31 points in 36 games. Jim Benning said they will know next week if he will sign with the Canucks or if he'll go back to school. I'm hoping they can get him in because I think he can be a high energy third line winger. But yeah, we'll see next week if he signs. And then heading down to Utica, Reed Boucher continues to rip it up in Utica. He's actually 10th in league scoring with 27 goals and 55 points in just 48 games. I still wouldn't minded if they gave him a shot here just with the power play struggles. Like I know like his foot speed and stuff.
I think they've already given him multiple shots. That's the whole purpose of him not being here. They know what they get. I'd still like to see Zach McEwen get called up for some more games down the season, but I know the Canucks are actually they're down to one call-up only now because of the paperwork with Schottner. They had to send him down and then recall him back up. So they've only got one call-up left till the end of the season, so they might have to be careful with that.
Yeah, and McEwen, he's still at 20 goals, 47 points in 56 games with Utica. And then other than that, like Cole Lind, he's at 3 goals, 14 points in 44 games. Though apparently Jim Benning says he's been having a tremendous year down in Utica with those numbers. I don't understand why you would say that. Like I think that something has to be done with Utica over the off season, just because like with the handling of all the young guys like Jonah Gadovich, only 2 goals, 7 points in 37 games. And most of those guys are just getting like fourth line minutes. And when the AHL is supposed to be the developmental league, and your guys aren't developing or getting the ice time, it's really difficult to come out and say that to the Canuck fans. But other than that, and Michael DiPietro will be my last update. In 37 games, he's 23, 12, and 4 with a .911 save percentage and 4 shutouts. An update, though, in his game today, he actually did leave after taking a shot off his mask and didn't return. So he might be dealing with a possible concussion, but we'll have to wait and see there as well.
Sounds good. We're going to end today's episode. Remember to like and subscribe on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube video. We post all of these shows on our YouTube as well as our Facebook, but we also have a lot of the highlights and stuff on our Facebook page. Comment below about the Canucks or whoever your favorite team is. We love talking hockey. We've even got some junior and minor league stuff on our site every once in a while. Locally, of course, Vancouver Giants are first right now in the Western Conference of the WHL, so there might be a good playoff run that starts next Friday here in Langley.
Yeah, and just one last thing that we forgot to touch on is the Louis Eriksson healthy scratch. Hopefully this will be coming like in the off season. We will be able to trade him. Just an update on that because after his signing bonus on July 1st, he'll only have 3 years left on his contract, and he's only owed $9 million combined dollars over those next 3 years. Though in the off season, he still has a no trade clause in his 4th year, so he'll still dictate where he gets traded to. But with this healthy scratch, I think this is like the end of Louis Eriksson in Vancouver, hopefully.
Well, and yeah, we'll see what happens. It's tough to say. I mean, Only time will tell. I've
Yeah.
always liked Louis Eriksson. I think he brings a lot to the ice.
Mm.
If he was paid a lot less, I don't think fans would have a problem with him.
Yeah, I still, I'm not a big Louis fan. It's just, I know the contract's there, but like he doesn't do much. Like he had one good month in November, but other than that, it's just like he just disappears, and then you just sort of forget about him, and it's just like, oh yeah, that guy, he's making $6 million and he's not really doing much. Like heck, he's on their fourth line for most of this past month at least. And it's just like when you got your top paid player playing on your fourth line, that's not good. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. But hopefully this offseason, the Canucks will be able to dump a bunch of these bad contracts. Hopefully, like in Sutter, Spooner, Schaller, Eriksson. But hopefully, Benny can work some magic. But the thing is, we don't know where their value is. But hey, if he can bring in a couple of draft picks or maybe some prospects or something like that, eat some salary, maybe we can work something out. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Canucks get if they can get rid of those contracts in the off season.
So Matt gets the last word with Louis Eriksson. Anyways, everybody, have a fantastic weekend. We'll be back next week, of course, with all things hockey here on B&B Hockey Talk. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aaron. He's Matt. Have a great weekend.